I was preparing for this week's sermon. I went looking for the origins of the phrase, may you live in interesting times. Now, that is popularly said to be part one, or to be one part of an ancient Chinese curse. But actually, there's very little evidence to indicate that this is really true. So, whether it's a curse or a blessing, I know that we've all certainly lived with the impact of interesting times over the past few years. The challenges of COVID and the world at war, rising costs for housing, food, climate change, social unrest, poverty, political upheaval. It just has seemed to go on and on. And there are blessings in there as well. We've all adapted, and I know we've had to pick up some new coping skills along the way. We've had to learn to live in different ways and make choices that protect our health and well being. All of us have had to absorb the reality of life's changes and adapt our lives to the realities that we face right now. Wishing and hoping for things to be different, to perhaps return to something that we might describe as the good old days, or thinking about when we'll get back to normal. Well, I just don't think that's in the cards, and that may not be the best use of our time. I think that one of the things we probably have learned is that we truly need one another. For us Unitarian Universalists, our understanding of the interconnected web, I think, has been enhanced by realizing just how important our friends are to us, how much we long to be together and share our lives with one another. Back in the days before COVID, I think maybe we perhaps got even a bit complacent about how easy it was to see our people, to be involved in our communities, and to have that all important human interaction and connection. And it really has come home to us how precious and meaningful that is. So now I think we know more about what a gift that is to be able to be in relationship, to share a smile and make eye contact, to laugh together, to share a tender moment of deep connection, to sit silently in the company of others. I know it is good for the soul. I think it's good for us on so many, many levels. And I know that it has been challenging for us to be back online of necessity for these last couple of months. I'm so glad that we have this wonderful capability. I'm glad it's an option, but truly, we all know it's not like being in the same space, sensing the people around us, breathing together, singing, sharing a hug or a handshake. I'm glad that we've created a number of other options, like going for trivia night or a drop in day or being together for services in other locations. Those chances we have to see each other face to face, despite the fact that for now, our Sundays are online. I look forward, I'm sure like you do, to being back at OCI on a regular basis in January. Wherever humans are, as Catherine noted about our ancient ancestors, wherever humans are, there are communities, groups of people who have gathered together for some mutual cause or benefit, to share a sense of belonging and to build connections, to help one another, to celebrate and grieve, to listen and share stories, to experience ourselves in relationships to others and feel as though we are part of something bigger, something that offers us a sense of visibility and safety and purpose, a place where we can explore what it means to be human in this interesting time. Coming together as a faith community adds the dimension of putting our values into action together. In this place, we can identify the ways in which we would like to see change in the world. Hopefully, we practice it a bit together and get a little bit better at it, and support each other then in taking action to impact and shape that change and offer encouragement for the work that needs to be done. In the blurb for today's service, I quoted comedian Amy Poehler, who tells us to find a group of people who challenge and inspire you, spend a lot of time with them, and it will change your life. I'm sure each of you can think of communities and groups of people, including this congregation, where you have invested your time and energy and found a deep sense of change and transition in your own life. I think that's what we hope for when we enter the doors of our congregation. We want to be with people who are committed to doing good work, who are open to change and transformation, and who celebrate growth and learning in themselves and in others. We know that the greatest asset in community is trust. And building and nurturing trust is at the heart of our faith and spiritual path as Unitarian Universalists. We are called to show up fully in the process and give our attention to what is meaningful in our interactions with one another. To choose to be vulnerable and honor the vulnerability in others as we consider our hopes and desires for the future of this church and the larger world. We each make a commitment to our own spiritual growth and to a larger vision. And we all get to choose how we spend our time. And if you look around, you'll see the faces and the icons of people who've chosen to come to church this morning. Now, we may be very aware of why it is we choose to show up for these events for ourselves, what it means to us. We're going to see our friends. We're going to have a chance to sit in a space and reset for the week ahead. We're going to hear beautiful words and inspiring music. Some of us may be here out of a sense of responsibility. And some of why we come certainly serves ourselves, but that's what we expect. But do you ever think about how your coming to church is actually not just for you? It's actually for everybody else too. It isn't just about you on Sunday mornings or any time we show up in church community. Can you imagine who else needs to know that you are here today? Who needs to see your smile or hear your voice? Who needs to be encouraged by seeing other people that share their values and care about the world? Who need to know that they're not alone? Who need to hear your story or have you listen to theirs? We've mentioned how being in community is so foundational to our human experience. We're not simply individual organisms occupying a giant petri dish of existence, independent of and separate from others. We are all in this together. And I think that's been demonstrated and reinforced over and over in the preceding months. We need each other now more than ever. Putting ourselves in community is to risk change. If we're open-minded and open-hearted, we're going to hear new ideas. We're going to learn about lives that have been lived very differently from our own. We're going to have our preconceived notions challenged and have our eyes opened to new possibilities. We're going to find out whether we're one of those people who are early adapters and immediately hear an idea and go, yeah, let's get on that. Or if we're more one of those people who go, now, wait a minute, I need some more details on this. I need to see a plan. All of these opportunities may lead us to realize that we have to change, to think in new ways, to consider other possibilities, to adjust the way we live in the world so that everyone has an opportunity. And sometimes that's going to make us uncomfortable. Sometimes that's going to ask us to give up our beloved comfort level. Ginny Rometty, a former IBM exec, said that someone once told me that growth and comfort do not coexist, and I think it's a really good thing to remember. So along with potential change comes potential moments of uncertainty and discomfort. You may not believe it in the moment, but I can assure you, you will survive being uncomfortable. And by examining the places where you are not comfortable, you can determine how to adjust your thinking or your behavior to facilitate changes that are inevitably before you. When we understand ourselves as part of a larger interdependent circle of community, Then we realize how our contribution and engagement helps bring that resource alive and make it functional. We identify ways in which we can serve the community to achieve the community's goals as well as our goals, to make it a welcoming place for other souls seeking a community like ours, to make it work to meet the needs of all community members. And in that spirit, I don't think we volunteer actually in our communities, although we often ask people to volunteer to take on certain jobs. Actually, I think that in this context, what we do is we commit to perform acts of service, because service is what makes the community whole and healthy and vibrant. We provide service when we greet new people who come into our circle. We provide service when we help with the activities that make being together enjoyable. For UUs, that often involves in making coffee, leading worship, singing, handling the website, attending an event or group, help someone navigate what's new and unfamiliar. We engage in service when we offer our skills and talents to benefit the larger community. It is an act of service to be kind, patient, respectful, and courteous to one another. So I know we do live in interesting times, but when you think about it, who wants to live in boring times? Well, maybe just a little less interesting would be preferable, might be refreshing actually. But fortunately, we have here a community that helps us navigate the rough seas and gales of change. We have each other to encourage us, to witness us, to share with us, and to work with us on our mission, and to live our values, and to change the world. Sometimes we need each other to keep hope alive. When mine might flag, yours might be strong. Holding hands and moving forward, we can both create the world we dream of. So the mystery of community building isn't in the actions we take when we are together. Rather, it's in the sense of belonging and connection that is created between us. It's in the transitions in our thinking, in the continuing opening of our hearts, in the dawning of new possibilities, and in the rise of inspiration we gain from being in right relationship and covenant with one another. It's in the resilience we build as part of something larger than ourselves. This is the blessing that is possible from living consciously and contributing to each other's lives as a faith community. Blessed be, and may it continue for a long, long time.